from Vinpearl Resort and Spa in Nha Trang, Vietnam, a couple of hours away by plane from Hanoi. The multi-purpose vehicle segment is surely one of the key battlegrounds in the Philippine mobility market. Filipinos are famously known to have extended families and a healthy circle of friends. And more crucially, we basically like to move in groups. Hence, it is important to be in this segment for a brand with ambition and vision to drive volume. Now, VinFast is clearly one of those marks wanting to, well, make a mark and establish not just a foothold in the Philippines, but realize a presence for the long haul. As it continuously grows its model lineup and its dealership network in the Philippines, VinFast recently moved decisively into the segment we mentioned, expressed in the vehicle class called multi-purpose vehicles, or MPVs, which account for some 20% of total auto sales in the country. Of course, you don't even need me to tell you that the uptick in interest in electrified models is in no small way caused by the Middle East conflict that is driving up pump prices around the world. Now, earlier this month, the Vietnam headquartered battery electric vehicle specialist officially launched the simply and appropriately named VinFast MPV7, only the third international market to sell this model. The MPV7 is priced from 1.239 million if you opt into the company's battery subscription program. Now, if you want one with your own battery, that price is 1.518 million. Now, let's take a closer look at what the VinFast MPV7 is all about. I'm Cap Maceda Aguila. Welcome to Uncapped. All right, let's take a closer look inside the vehicle. Of course, this model, the MPV7, is predicated on the limo green already in the country. What's missing here? Of course, the instrument cluster, it's not here. So what VinFast has done is to basically simplify things by putting everything here. So you have, in theory and in practice, you have all the things, you should have all the things you need to operate the vehicle and be aware of certain status alerts, if you will, such as if the doors are locked, you can lock them through here, and you can adjust the side mirrors through here. You have your normal, eco, and sport modes. And then you can also adjust the regenerative braking to your liking. And everything else that you may need is here on the screen. Now, I don't know how you feel about that, but the positive thing here is that it makes the interior a lot less cluttered. And you can see it right away. Everything's very simple, and I'm actually a fan of minimalist thinking. So that's a plus. However, having said that, there might be a little learning curve to appreciate or probably more thoroughly get a feel for what the vehicle is about. So anyway, what do you think about it? Do you think this kind of design, the minimalist design, does this appeal to you? Okay. Now, having said that, there are steering wheel mounted controls on the left and on the right, and even the gear shift, the gear selector is mounted on the steering wheel. And so it's a very clean, again, very clean layout, very minimalist. And then you have two cup holders, another compartment here for probably coins and such, or you can put the coins here. And then you have your very deep center console box right here. I would imagine like a water bottle would probably fit there. Speaking of, you have your inner door cubbies also. One here and another one on the opposite side. So there are quite a bit of functional spaces. And then also, I'll reach down for you guys to see two charging points. One is USB-C, one is USB-A. The USB-A additionally functions as a way for you to access your content. Okay, that's a regular 12-volt socket, and then you press here for your glove box. Pretty decent space you have there as well. What else? No mirrors. No mirror. That's basically it. Now let's go to the second row. Okay, here we go. With the front seat adjusted to my liking, I have good leg room, and I can actually slide my feet underneath the front seat. I also note that the second row is raised quite a bit, so there's a good view of the road for me. With regard to the elbow room, there's quite a space, so that's good news. It doesn't have that center armrest though, so yeah, but it does have a flat floor, and that counts for a lot if you're talking space. Okay, now while we're here, you have two aircon vents, and I must commend VinFast for very strong air conditioning, meaning very cool. And then right below those vents, you have a couple more charge points. You have USB-C here and USB-A there. So those of you still using the USB-A format, have no worry. VinFast has got you. Okay, now with regard to the headroom, let me show that here. I can fit a fist between the ceiling and my head, the top of my head. So that's still good. That's good enough for me. And I stand 5'10", by the way, so for reference, those of you who stand the same height or a little bit lower or a little bit higher should have no problem. Now let's check out the center seat. Should there be an occupant here? Now I noticed right away that it's actually very comfortable. In some models, we've seen that the center seat is actually quite firm, meaning I think that means they're kind of discouraging a third passenger, if you ask me. So yeah, not a bad place to be, if you ask me. The MPV 7 should be able to compete in this space where people are a little more probably price sensitive, but you get the benefits of battery electric vehicle technology. So a lot more Filipinos are getting into this space, of course. Whether they see this as a legitimate contender, I think yes, a lot more people, well, at least according to Campy data, a lot more people have been buying VinFast models. So it would be safe to predict that many people will at least be taking a look at the MPV 7 because it should provide good value for money. Okay, now I will try to see if I can get into the third row. Let me just say that it was a little bit too ambitious for me to try to get into the third row. Number one, old. Number two, big. So anyway, while we're here, there should be ample room for people who are not too tall and not too big, so probably small kids. And they even have this. You even have this air conditioning. Okay, so two kids would probably have a good time here. And if they have their drinks too, there's a cup holder here and another cup holder on the other side. There's even this small window here just to combat the claustrophobia, should they get it. The seat also, I do believe, is a little bit raised compared to the second row. So you also get the benefit of sweeping view. That should be unobstructed by the people in the second row. Okay? So not bad. Okay, let's look at the rear, which is manually operated. Okay, so you see here the last row seat backs have been collapsed, and that actually lends to a lot of room for your average grocery run, or not more than your average grocery run if you have a bigger family. What we have here also is a 12 volt socket. You can access here, maybe during a camping adventure. And then you have this rather small underfloor compartment. There's no spare tire. And just to give you a sense of how this space looks with the seat backs up, let's do this. All right, so there you have quite decent space, and I think you don't have to be really collapsing the seats all the time, or you can leave it down. Actually, your preference, but for me, it should work even without the seat backs collapsed. Okay, close it using the manually operated tailgate, like so. Okay, riding the second row of the MPV 7 with Nick Scalano of Car Guide at the wheel, and of course my friend Dinzo of Top Gear, and our bunso Julian of Auto PH. So yeah, without commenting on the driving skills of Nick's, I think we had quite a safe time and comfortable one in the second row. I usually get nauseous when I'm in the second row or when I'm not driving, and happy to say that it wasn't like that today. So I don't know whether that's more because of Nick's or the MPV 7, but hey, I'll take it as a win. So yeah, very comfortable here, and we're looking forward to driving it shortly.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. We have to...
Okay, now it's our turn behind the wheel of the MPV 7. This three-row offering from VinFast, which has just launched in the Philippines, and we hope to see more of. Okay, of course, this is a closed course. Course meaning we're on private property, and we're not gonna go very fast, of course. Safety first. But what this will afford us, of course, is an initial view or perception of how the MPV 7 is. Again, this is the latest offering that will now compete in the country's, let's say, booming, because that's true, it's booming, the MPV segment. And with sales with the MPV segment accounting for 20% of total sales, then that's certainly worth taking a look at if you're VinFast, and that's you would want a slice of that kind of significant pie or bigger pie. Okay, now we're going to be more generous, or maybe depress the throttle a little bit more, just to see how the torque is here. Not bad. There's no delay as in other battery electric vehicles, of course, but again, you have to manage your expectations as far as the MPV 7 is concerned. This is a practical machine. When we say practical, it's not meant to be sporty, not meant to be quick. I think what it needs to be is comfortable and just tick the right boxes for the requirements of, say, a family of or a growing family. Because I think that's the key thing about its value propositions, is that it's built for, or it's meant for, the Filipino family. Yeah, so it's very comfortable actually. Okay, this one is predicated on the limo green. Now we're not sure yet, but I've heard that the limo green itself is available for purchase in the Philippines. Let's ask our friend Julian of Auto PH. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So
Yes.
confirmation from Auto PH. Julian, thank you, Julian. I'd like to see how this performs on longer drives. So we're hoping we can test this in the Philippines when we get back. So okay, very good stint behind the wheel. Again, I reserve a more thorough judgment for after we get to more comprehensively test this model. As an expression of its comparatively affordable price tag, you know that it's targeting to move units and maybe undercut more than a few competitors along the way. 4.74 meters long, 1.872 meters wide, and 1.734 meters tall. Roughly the size of the popular Toyota Innova. Alright, so that's it for me from Nha Trang in Vietnam for VinFast. This has been Cap Maceda Aguila. I will see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.